everyone, thanks for stopping by and checking out the channel again. I really appreciate it. Today I have some more paintball related content for you, and if you have a TiPx, you're going to want to stick around to see what we find. Okay, so real quick, we're just going to take a baseline efficiency test with the stock system that comes in the TiPx and see what we can get shooting at 220 feet per second out of one CO2 cartridge. And we will be shooting GI Sports field grade. I'll show you. It's just standard. This is what I get at my local field right here. This is the standard stuff they sell because that's normally what I'm running in it, so I kind of want to have the results with my normal ammunition. So anyways, let's turn on our chronograph here. Let's see, can you guys see the numbers on that? Hopefully. Actually, you know what, let's move it in a little bit. I'm sure it'd be easier to see if it was right here, huh? Okay, yeah, that's good. That's actually a nice shot right there. So we're just going to be shooting at that bucket. Let's see how many shots we get. And I'm going to be counting in my head, but we'll just kind of be... oh, I guess I got to put a CO2 in there. That would help. Okay. All right, here we go. Alright, so that was 21 shots with one misfire. There's another 7 rounds. I only have 3 mags, so bear with me. Here we go. Okay, so now I'm running out of air, for sure. So I had 1 left in there. I had 1 left in that last mag. So I went through... I could have shot this last one if I didn't have that misfire. So I essentially went through 4 mags. Which isn't too bad. What is that? 28 rounds out of 1 CO2. Alright, so that's our baseline, 28 rounds with a single CO2. Now, I probably could have got some more shots there, but if I waited, you all know how CO2 is, but once you really start losing shots, you're done. So, okay, so let's replace the bolt and the spring and see what we find. But we'll do some close-up shots real quick in between that. Okay, so real quick, I have the springs right here. Let me pull the bolt out. That way we can kind of look at that too. There's the bolts. That's the TechT bolt. We'll pull out the stock bolts. There's that. Okay, so first things I want to kind of address is the weight, because even the springs are substantially lighter than, and not just spring resistance, like it's not just a lighter coil. It might even be different materials we're working with here. So real quick, we have the scale. I'm not sure if you can, maybe you can see that scale. We'll put you guys over here so you can see it better. Okay, so this is the stock spring. We're going to set this on here. That's coming out at 6.5 grams for the stock spring. Now the stock spring looks like it is just normal spring steel, and it gunks up really easily. I think I might even see some rust there on the back end. It does its job, and it's very, very hard to compress. Well, I guess, relatively speaking, this is I probably could get that all the way if I wanted to, but yeah, see, that takes a lot of effort and concentration, to be honest. So 6.5 grams. Now there's a series of different ones here, so let's go and see if we can actually, and it looks like there might even be some different materials used among the three of these. If we can pan up here, put these right here. So this one, okay, and then this one, this one's easier for sure. Okay, so these are going to be closer to each other. Okay, so this is easier than this one. So this one here is the hardest. Hard, medium, soft. And let's see what they're kind of weighing out at here. So the soft one, which I think is made out of a different material. This might actually be aluminum. And these other two that come might be stainless steel. So let's see what we get with the... Wow, okay, so that's almost half the weight. That's 2.7 grams. That is half the weight. That's under half the weight for the light spring. So I would believe that that's aluminum. That's also a smaller gauge wire. So it's not only a different material, it's smaller wire. 3.4 for the medium. So that's almost a whole 0.6 grams. It's almost 1 gram heavier. And this is the heavy spring. 3.6 grams. 3.5. What was this one? 3.2. 3.3. Okay, so it does. They do actually get heavier as the spring rate progresses. So that's interesting. Let's go over the bolts real quick. So this is the stock Tippmann TiPx bolt, and if I had to say, this looks like it's, you know, it definitely looks like this is steel. This exterior might be aluminum. Either way, it's a solid metal construction, weighing in at 36.2 grams. 36.2 grams. Okay, now let's look at the new bolt. The new bolt I thought was aluminum, and I had a little test scratch there just to kind of see what the material is made out of, and to my shock, this entire thing is plastic, with the exception of this center bolt there. That center bolt, I tried to remove it, and it doesn't want to come out like this one does on the stock TiPx. The red is aluminum. And what's kind of cool about this bolt is it's not only lighter, it's got kind of milled out portions of the bolt to make it lighter, you know, less material, less mass on top of a lighter material, so it just makes it that much lighter. We'll see how much lighter it is here in a second. But the tip itself is actually, the tip itself is kind of a rubber. Now, if I had to, I thought this was going to be a really soft rubber. It's not. It's kind of almost a plastic, but it does have some softness to it. Actually, let's see how paintballs like to sit on top of that. So I did notice on the stock bolt, I'm going to come even here so we can set the balls on the bolt. Now, I don't know how well you can see that, but the ball actually sets in the center, and air can kind of still move around the ball. So that is one design, or that's how Tippmann designs their bolt. And this one will sit squarely and almost make a full seal on the tip of the bolt as it actuates forward into the barrel or the chamber. So I'm assuming that this seal might, I'm not sure, maybe that'll give it a little more stress on the ball, but we're going to be operating at lower temperatures, lower pressures, so, I'm interested to see what we find. So let's see how much this bolt weighs. The last one was 36 grams. That's pretty heavy. This is definitely lighter just in my hands. Let's turn it back on here. So let's calibrate it real quick again. It's not real calibration, but let's just make sure we're getting the same results here. So you see that 36.2 grams. And the TechT bolt with its polymer tip comes in just over 10 grams. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so look at there. Just over 10 grams. That's 10.9 grams. That is a quarter of the weight. So I was telling you, you can definitely feel it in your hands as you're holding the two. It definitely looks cool. I guess we'll find out. I was kind of hoping that this was going to be aluminum, but I'm honestly, I don't care with that kind of weight. This is going to be a lot less mass for the power tube to push forward, and combine that with the less powerful spring to actuate forward too. I mean, I'm hoping to see some really good results here. Okay, so real quick, I just want to make a note. While I was in here, I went ahead and trimmed down my ball detent, and it's actually pretty easy to kind of get in here with your ball detent and kind of test out how much material you can take off just by, does your ball still sit in there or not? And you'd be surprised actually how much that ball detent sticks up in the chamber is actually harder for that bolt to pass by it. But that's not what I wanted to tell you. I just wanted to make a quick note of, look at how easy. So this is the new spring with the new bolt. I'll put it in kind of how it's supposed to line up. But look at how easy it is for me to actuate that bolt. I mean, that's super easy. So I'm going to take this stock one, set it in there, and that's the same pressure I was giving the other bolt, and I can't even get it really to compress. And what takes me to compress is way more pressure. I can still do it, but that is so much more pressure than this other bolt. So I'm excited to see what. Okay, we're all set here. Got the TechT MRT bolt installed with the MRT return spring. I have not adjusted the regulator at all, so we're about to find out together if that makes a difference in FPS. We'll compare it to what that video was earlier. So anyways, without further ado, let's get this in there and see what we get. So pop the CO2, 194. It definitely makes a higher pitch sound. I'm noticing, wow, 318, 307, 294, 206, 303. Interesting, I'm getting some variance in FPS there. Ooh, not sure if that was a barrel break or a shot. Let's clean out the bore real quick. Ooh, that was a chop. Okay. Well, let's keep going. Not done yet. Let's make sure this looks like we're still good in a way. So we are, it's very interesting. We're going from 300 down to 200. So we're getting variances of about 100 FPS here. I'm not sure if I just need to break it in more. Maybe I'll go through this CO2 and then we'll do another test. Because I'm not counting right now. I'm just looking at the chronograph. Um, 207. So I think it might be. We'll see here. Load up another mag. Gone through 3 mags right now. Let's see. I'm trying to find a good angle where I can show you guys and do this still. Okay, so I think I have the kinks worked out. We're going to do a efficiency test of the MRT bolt. I have it chronoed back down. I had essentially back the entire regulator off to the lowest pressure and work my way back up to a consistent state because I don't think it liked being just dropped in there. And anyways, we'll see what happens now. So I'm gonna be counting the rounds as we go to see if we can get a higher round count. Alright, so I'm about to crack it open and see if I find any weird monkey business with the bolt. It seems the bolt has... Okay, this is weird. Let's look at what happened here. The bolt is stuck forward. And it looks like this is free spinning. I wonder what's going on here. Okay, I'm just going to take this entire assembly out. But, okay, it looks like my return spring has actually failed. It does feel like my entire bolt is somehow stuck in the chamber. Okay. it is. It seemed to be, I don't know, stuck up on something. So this is cutting paint. This is needs a stronger return spring, so let's obviously take this one off. Okay, so quick note, the weakest spring is actually too small in diameter. It's too small. The small spring will not work even, I mean, maybe on different blocks it might work, but this spring is too small of a diameter. And I'm about to test the big one, but it's really hard to make it out on a camera. Maybe that's the best way. Look at, I have both of those outer ends matching up, but look at those inner ends right there. Look at how much bigger the diameter of the stock spring is. So what ended up happening was that bolt actuated in, but the spring got caught inside and smushed in between the bolt and the chamber. So that caused issues. That's really bad. I'm about to give the harder spring a test, which seemed to be a little bigger than the other one, so we'll see here in a second. Okay, here we go. So Chronograph's bottom left. Hopefully I'm shooting around the 200, 220, and I would like to get a full 4 mags. That would be a win, but I think we're having too many issues here for anything to happen. Alright, let's see. Break. I'm going to go ahead and turn the pressure up. That was a no shot. Turn the pressure up 1/4 turn. Okay. Sitting about 200. I'm going to give it a little bit more. A little more pressure. Another 1/4 turn. Alright, so this is our 3rd mag. We do have 1 chop. And I don't want to clean out the barrel. 228, okay, that's a little more my style. 215, okay. 220, perfect. 222, perfect. 225, I think that was the last one. Yep. Okay, so that's 3 full mags. Now if I can get through this last one, and I've already shot twice accidentally without a ball in the chamber. So if we can get through this full mag, that would be sweet. Okay, I think it's dying right now. Yeah, it's definitely getting dead. I could still make shots though. That was pretty far. That's the end of it. So, okay, well, let's see how many more times it'll. So that was 4 mags. I did shoot 4 more. Those last 2 were pretty slow for me, but I could have still made a shot. Let's see how many more times this gun will actuate after 4 mags. 1, 2, 3. Now that was a really low kick, or a low actuation. Yeah, that's dead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick the pressure up just a little bit, because I'd like to run, like, at the end of that 4th mag, I would like to be, like, just about done with the CO2. So we'll give it one more test here. Okay, final test here. At least I'm pretty sure. That last test, the bolt didn't get stuck, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and clean it out here one more time. Go all the way down. Give her a spin. Yeah, this one, look at that. This one's kind of busted. I need to get a new barrel swab here. Okay, but anyways, I found all 4 magazines here, so we're going to shoot all 4 of these. If we can get through all 4 of these magazines at you know, what I'm hoping to be 220 FPS, give or take 10 FPS, that would be sweet. I think we would call this a win as far as what I'm concerned. Oh, and obviously it has to continue working. It can't jam up like the last one. Let's get a little better view of the chronograph here. Yeah, maybe we'll go up. I'd like to have that in the bottom of the screen. There we go. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Okay, so we popped the CO2. We're ready to shoot. Hopefully we can get, what is that? 7 times 4 is 28, above 28 shots. I mean, at 28 reliable shots would be great. 1. That's a break. That's 7, right? Yeah, that was 7. Seems we did have 1 barrel break, or I don't think it was a chop. That was a chop. This is some pretty old paint. That was a double shot. We'll count that as just 1 shot though. I think we're getting low. We'll see. Yep. Okay, so that's, I mean, I'm pretty much out of CO2. I mean, that's not gonna get anyone out right there. That certainly isn't. That surely won't. So, like, not 4 mags. I got through 3 mags, but I don't think that's better or more consistent than the stock bolt. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna run this setup for a couple games and see what I find in game. See if it works in a little better. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm not that impressed. Anyways, I'll clean up and then we can consolidate our thoughts. Okay, so I'm going to try another quick combination here. I'm not going to put any of the low pressure springs in. I'm going to just not do anything with these. Might return those because I think those are not worth it. But I'm going to do a test with the stock spring and the upgraded TechT bolt. And let's see if I get any kind of you know, change in results there. I doubt it, but we'll see. Alright, this is going to have to be my last test for now. This is my last CO2 cartridge. But this is the TechT MRT bolt with the stock spring, not the low pressure spring. So we're going to see if this maybe has you know, any more reliability. We'll find out. I haven't adjusted the regulator at all since the last test. So I'm expecting the FPS to be lower, but realistically we'll find out. Alright, there's the CO2 pump. I want to kind of keep this dead straight. 207. Let's see where we go. I think that was 7. Definitely seems more. Oh, 305. Wow, that's a high one. Oh, that's 7. There goes another 7. 225. That's right where I want it. Alright, there's 14 shots. Seems to be doing fine at 14. No problem. Gonna be honest, I think we're going down now. This is the 4th mag. That was a good shot. I think that's because I had time to recharge. Okay, so I think that might be the end of it there. We'll see. That was 190. Yeah, that was about 30 FPS lower than I want. So that we're at the end of it. So pretty much 3 mags. I mean, I could still make that shot if it was close enough. That's not doing anything. Okay, well, so in conclusion, what I found about TechT MRT bolt and the TechT low pressure spring kit for the TiPx, if you're running 12 grams the CO2 and you think maybe this will give you some more shots, it won't. Not worth it. On top of that, I think these springs for the TiPx, maybe because I don't have a Axe or an Invert Mini or any of these BT7s, BT15s. I don't have that, so I can't test this spring kit. For the 15 bucks, if you have a TiPx, you're running 12 grams, not worth it. The bolt, on the other hand, I'm going to continue to run that in my TiPx for the future. Maybe I'm going to probably will give it 2-3 games, see what I think about it. So far, it seems like it's still breaking paint in the barrel. I'm not sure if that has to do with the spring kit or the bolt. Like I said, we'll run the bolt, see what we find in some future games. But I'm definitely gonna hang on to the stock bolt. I don't think that this warranties. I don't think this new bolt is worth the upgrade. I think if maybe your old bolt somehow goes bad and you want to invest into this MRT bolt, that might be a scenario where it's worth it. But I haven't seen any performance increases in consistency or accuracy or efficiency enough to make me think that this bolt is worth it. I think it's about $50 plus shipping and handling. Not worth it. It's not worth it. I bought this for 15 bucks. I think the bolt itself was maybe $40 or $50. You know, plus another 15 bucks in shipping. I think it was 10 bucks actually. It's not worth it. Definitely not worth it. Keep your stock internals. Maybe do some polishing, sanding down. I think I got more of an efficiency increase out of just kind of polishing and sanding down my internals from the mill marks. So I think that's probably just a better way to go if you're looking for an efficiency increase. Anyways, that's what I found with these TechT products, is they look a little flashy and they look like they might kind of do the trick as if you're looking for better performance, but I don't think so. I think Tippmann kind of knows what they're doing. So anyways, that's what I found. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. I'm going to be putting more videos like this up. I love doing this kind of content. I don't make any money. I don't get any sponsorships. This is really just for my enjoyment and your enjoyment for, you know, however long you decide to watch this, or if you're interested in buying any of these products. So anyways, if you liked it, like I said, like and subscribe. Nova Gunner out.